Will Smith became emotional. You know what? People are making fun of Will Smith, but let me tell you, most of you are Will Smith. So there's a gem for you guys. Most of you guys are Will Smith, and most of you guys, I see. Listen, I'm not going. You know, a lot of you guys can't handle women. Okay, so we need to talk about that. That's very important. We got to go there, because this really, you know, once again, as I said, we're assuming this is all real. So we need to assume that Will Smith is in a bad place, and he's a bad place because he can't handle his woman. His woman be banging this dude August because of a lack of respect for Will.
And assuming that Will isn't banging anyone else either, because he hasn't publicly said anything about it.
Yeah, this is when we gotta get. This is when we gotta get real.
We're assuming that he's not doing anything, but Jada was, or still is. I don't even know at this point.
This is when we gotta get real with you guys, and this is a teachable moment. A lot of you guys don't know what it's like to truly deal with a woman that doesn't have respect for you. A lot of you guys get way too emotional really, really quick. In fact, you know, let's go. So the other day I got a text message from. We're gonna do a video about this, by the way. Mike, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I got a text message from this girl asking me for advice, which we're going to do a video on. You know, we'll go into more details later. Basically, she's in this abusive relationship, and she doesn't know how to handle it, and she could leave. The reason she's abusive is because her man doesn't know how to handle her, because he resorts to his emotional outbursts instead of rational thinking. Just like what Will Smith did right here. He literally got up. He went from laughing. He was all cool. Remember, I say this for a reason. A lot of you guys, you know, in the audience watching this, you guys are Will Smith. A lot of you guys do these crazy outbursts when it comes to a woman, because you can't handle a woman, because you can't handle yourself, because you don't know yourself. Will Smith is not able to cope with the whole situation, which is why that little joke got real serious real fast. And imagine if Will Smith was unhinged as fuck and he had a gun on him. He pulls out the gun.
Tupac him.
No, we laugh about this, but this could be serious.
Yeah, it's so serious.
What if instead of a slap, it was a punch to the throat and Chris Rock drops dead? What if he punches him so hard in the heart that, you know, let's just say, you know, because Will Smith's not a weak guy. He's strong. And he's done a lot of movie roles that required him to get strong. He has the muscle behind him. Well, if he wanted to, he could knock Chris out, give him a good concussion, maybe kill the man. And you know, he didn't see it coming, right? So Will Smith, instead of a slap, it could have been a punch. It could have been a shot. It could have been a baseball bat to the head. It could have been a knife. Life can get real fast, and a lot of you guys don't realize.
Just turn the Oscars into medieval times.
you guys don't know what a lot of these dudes out here are going through. There's a lot of mental health trauma going on, and if you mess with the wrong guy at the wrong time, especially when he has some kind of weapon on him, your life is done. This may be a joke that Chris Rock didn't think it would go wrong, but it did, and it was just a simple slap. But that's because, you know, Will Smith has that good guy in him, but there's also a dark side that he just untapped the brink of. He has a dark, deep desire in his head to get revenge, because Will Smith has been through a lot of crap. Will Smith has been through a lot of crap. And life can get real dark real fast if you guys don't know how to handle yourselves. A lot of guys in general don't know how to handle their women's crap. So it comes out like little outbursts like this. So he comes up to Chris Rock and he does this little slap. The media's all over it, and people are making memes out of it and jokes. But this could have been a lot worse. Chris Rock could be dead for a simple, because remember, when Will gets home, that you know, we don't know what's gonna happen, if they're gonna get into an argument or something. Maybe Jada's gonna be like, you know, maybe you should not have hit Chris Rock. That was a little mean of you. You didn't have to take it that serious. And Will Smith was like, oh, well, I was just trying to defend you, and then it could have been some big fight. Will Smith goes crazy, hits. You know, you really don't know.
No, we didn't get her reaction to this whole thing the entire time, which is surprising.
She could have been either really wet or she got really dry. She's like, man, Will, so why'd you do that? Now you made us look dumb. Now you're just an emotional idiot, and you made us look dumb.
You just lost that Oscar, you buffoon.
Yeah, you're dumb. But you got. It's very important to stress that Will Smith's going through some dark stuff, and you don't know how much a man can really take until he snaps. You guys got to be careful who you're dealing with out there and who you joke with.
Oh yeah.
And remember, we're in a very emotional world right now, so you don't know that if you push a guy to a certain point. Remember, Will Smith went from 0 to 100 and came up and slapped the hell out of him, right? 0 to 100 just like that. Nobody saw it coming. The audience, ain't no security coming to pull Will Smith off him, which they probably would have. But it could have been a scrapple. He could have killed Chris Rock right there. And the reason for that is because Will Smith is in a deep, dark place, and he doesn't know how to handle stuff like that. He's in an emotional state. And you guys don't know this because remember, in Hollywood, you got to be fake, but Will Smith is probably going through some real shit. And the fact that he acted that way because of a simple G.I. Jane joke, You know, that says a lot about who Will Smith is as a man rather than Chris Rock as a man. One little joke is all right, and Will Smith could have been like, ah, ha, ha, whatever. But he took that way too seriously. I do think that Will Smith was in the wrong. And whether it's scripted or real, he did definitely, you know, he should not have done that. He could have, what I would have done if I was Will, and it was real, I would have been like, you know, Chris Rock, when the show's over, you know, maybe I would have whispered in his ear. I would have been like, Chris, you know, we got to talk about this after the show. Come meet me in the back alley, you know, or we can settle this later. But to do it right, you know, he got heated. He couldn't handle himself. He was emotionally uncomposed. And what did he do? It could have cost him an Oscar. It could have cost him. He could have been a murderer. He could have been the next Alec Baldwin. You know, it's true. He could have been the next Alec Baldwin. He could have killed somebody by accident, and you know,
and then said it wasn't his fault.
a lot of women make you guys, you know, I'm talking to the audience here. A lot of women make you guys do some crazy stuff. I've heard horror stories of guys that just start unloading their fists on women, and you bruise them, you beat them, you curse them out. You curse them out through text messages, and I've seen so many examples of you guys who cannot handle a woman to the fact that you beat her down when you know she's weaker. If you are dealing with a woman and she's disrespecting you, you eject. You get out of there, because if you don't want to deal with a woman who's not respecting you. Jada Pinkett Smith has been disrespecting Will Smith for years, and Will Smith finally comes out. Now, Chris Rock was just there at the point. It could have been anyone standing on that stage. It had to be him. But Will Smith has all this rage inside, and it had to come out on somebody. It just so happened that Chris Rock was standing there. It was the right time. It was the right place. And it was in front of a live studio audience. This is a good time to Will Smith to show the world, I'm not taking your shit no more. Don't you ever disrespect me like that again. Because eventually, if you poke the lion and he's in the cage, one day the lion's going to break out of that cage and somebody going to get hurt. It was just a simple slap at this point, but it could have been a lot worse and a lot more deadly.
Comedy does not exist anymore. Comedy is just something that we've taken so much for granted that now it's not even fun anymore, because people can't even make jokes and to be entertaining. people are making jokes to be entertaining, like Chris Rock. Chris Rock is trying to entertain the people that are there and the people that are watching, but now people are getting way too strung up on these jokes. People are getting very emotional about the jokes and are attacking people that are doing the jokes over the jokes, and now it's not fun anymore. Why would someone want to go to a comedy store or like a comedy club to watch people be funny and entertaining just to get mad? Everyone gets so emotional, and we've talked about emotionalism a lot on the channel, where everyone gets emotional about the stupidest things, and a lot of people don't understand why they do it, but they do, and everyone gets emotional, triggered. But that's literally what comedy is. Comedy is supposed to be funny and be outrageous for entertainment purposes, and it's not supposed to attack. Comedy people are not trying to attack anybody, and no, comedy people aren't trying to pull anybody down. They're just trying to entertain everyone. If it's at somebody's expense, it's not supposed to be harmful to them. They're not trying to attack them. They're only using whatever that's there in the area, or that they can see, and using it as a jumping point for a bit, or a jumping point for a punchline. That's all that really is, and it's not really trying to be something to hurt somebody. It's just for all in good fun in the entertainment. And I'd love for a comedian like Chris Rock, or who's another good comedian like Joe Rogan, whoever, any funny comedian, Dave Chappelle, whoever.
Even Richard Pryor back in the day.
I'd love for any of them to point out me in a crowd and just start roasting me. I'd love it. I'd be fucking crying my eyes out in laughter, because they picked me out of everyone in the crowd to roast and to use for their bid. I'd love that.
They do it out of respect.
I'd love that, right? And I don't understand. Sometimes people don't. Sometimes they're just too hurt by it. And I understand maybe you could be a little too hurt by a joke, but that doesn't mean that you can get up and you can physically assault someone that's making the joke over a joke that's supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to just be for fun.
Yeah, he's a stand-up comedian. Give him a break.
Yeah, like comedy nowadays, after this moment, comedy is now a dying art, and it will continue to die until comedy is just not allowed to be a thing anymore. Because this is the turning point where things are going to start going different, I feel.
It is dying. A lot of people can't take a joke. We live in a very emotional world, and I was just like I was saying before, a lot of you guys literally are Will Smith.